Hi, everyone. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me well? Is there any static? I don't even know. So I just moved my chair, so I'm not really sure. Here we go. Big button. Thank you guys for coming in. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys for showing up. Thanks for coming in. I want you guys to know, I'm going to tell you everybody in a little bit, but since you guys are early, I am in my pajamas. I have bought a robe specifically for my lives and some pajamas. Well, I mean, I have the same pajamas, but I've got other pajamas that I'm going to be wearing too, because I want this to be a nice, relaxed, comfortable environment. So if you guys want to grab your tea, coffee, the tea you drink before you go to sleep, um, and I just want you to relax. If that's what this is about. We're going to learn, have fun, and relax in this environment. Okay. So we are going to start in about 4 more minutes. I am going to center myself and then I will be with you guys shortly. How about this, you guys? Can you hear me better? Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Okay. We're going to start. Now I moved my camera, so it's probably not on me, but you guys can let me know. Oh, it is on me. Okay. Again, no making fun of my turkey neck. Welcome, welcome, everyone. So, welcome, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindi. I am a psychic medium. I am at Simply Cindi on my YouTube channel. Um, I have lots of modalities that I've studied, practiced. I use it on a daily basis, and I'm already starting a channel. Sorry. Welcome. Thank you for showing up tonight. So here is the thing. Thank you so much, Berenice, for coming in, Mom Otto for coming in, which is one of the Cathys who we love. And Uh, Ellen, thanks for coming in. So here is the thing. Oh, Mauve Moon, how are you? So here's the thing. I am trying to get this centered right. Hold on. Is this better? This better. How about this? Is this better? I shouldn't have moved it, but I did. Can y'all hear me now? Okay. Better. Okay. Perfect. I promise everything's gonna get set up eventually. Um, okay, much better. Okay, thank you so much. So, here's the thing. Because I want this environment, there's such beautiful souls in here, and we've all in this life worked so hard, and we're in a different space now that we're moving towards. And I want us to be relaxed and having fun as we're learning, as we're growing, as we're evolving, right? And so I thought, well, I love my pajamas and my work that I can do on live, I can do it in pajamas. So, and I want all of you guys to feel comfortable and stable and happy and cozy and cuddly, comfortable, right? So I was like, why don't I just start wearing pajamas? Right? So I would like for all of y'all to get your pajamas too. Some of y'all are in the daytime, I understand that. But if you can, when I come on, let's just all be in pajamas. And not everybody has to do that because I know that some people like to dress up. I was in corporate for 20 years. I was in couture. I was in 6-inch heels. I was like all the time dressed up, right? And so for me, this helps me just relax more. This helps me um, mm, not better able to channel because that's just a natural thing for me, but it helps me be more aware and able to teach and able to be with you guys better, right? So I'm gonna start wearing pajamas. I would love it if y'all start wearing pajamas, because I just want everybody to be cozy. For that reason, I went and got a specific robe that I had been eyeing, that's really really soft, right? So let me see if I can move this a little bit. Sorry. I know y'all are gonna hear static, so I'm sorry. I sleep in the nude. I'm in sweats and a t-shirt. That works for everyone. That works perfect. Whatever comfy clothes you want to be in, that's what you want. I love pajamas. So I love PJs. I just love uh, when I get soft PJs. So for me, it's PJs. So whatever you want to do, if that's an old t-shirt, a long t-shirt, a big comfy sweater, whatever that is, I just want you guys to be comfortable. So, um, yeah. So there's a lot that we're going to be talking about tonight. I live in comfy clothes and I'm usually barefoot. Perfect. Perfect. But just know when you guys come here, when we're doing these lives, and I'm going to be doing them 5 days a week now. When we do that, just come in your comfy. I want you to be comfortable. I want you to be able to express yourself. I want you to be able to bond with everybody as we learn and as we grow and as we make our dreams come true, right? So anyway, so tonight I told you guys over the next couple of days I want to go in deep. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. No, let me say this first. So I wanted to go in deep with these planets, and I told you Venus was like in my face, and I was like, "Why are you being like all up here when you should be back there?" Because she's usually a lot like that, and I think it was because she was wanting me to like notice her a lot and Mars, and so it caused me to like really sit with her and Mars and this trine that's going to be happening with Saturn. right? And there's a trine. Hi, Wendy. And there's a trine that's going to be happening with Saturn, Mars, and Venus. And then there's a trine, grand trine. They're both grand trines that are going to be happening with Mars, Venus, and Neptune, right? And so I first tonight want to talk about Mars, Venus, and Saturn, okay? But before all of that, I'm going to see if I can do this because David's not here. This is the other thing that I've been working on. You guys kind of know. Give me just a second because I have to do this. Hold on a second. Give me just 1 second. Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm not showing a whole bunch of stuff. So just a second. I'm gonna try to do this. I don't know that I can. But now get back here. I need to try. I don't know that I can do this. I'm still trying. Give me just a second. I don't think I can do this. Hold on. Try to... Nope. I'm not going to be able to do it. Oh, gosh. I really wanted to show you guys, too. Okay. Not going to be able to do it. To get with David. Sorry, guys. I was trying to capture this. It's not going to work. Give me give me just a second. I'm going to see if I can do it this way. Hold on. I promise it's going to get better. Okay. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. The best way I'm going to be able to do this, I've been trying to figure out how to do this, is this way. So This is what I've been working on, and I don't know that you guys can see this, but can you guys see that? I'll get a better picture of it once I can put it on the big screen. Can you guys see that stuff? So I've got some herbs that I've been making, and I'll be able to show those to you guys soon, but that's what I've been working on. Can you guys see that? I'll try to get another one in there. There's another one. Okay. You guys see that? Yeah. So I know I want to be able to show you because I have big photos of them, but I can't get the, can you see that? Right? And let's see if we can do this way. Yeah, I am going to post them on my community tab. Now, can you see that? So, I've been working on that as well as doing all of this other stuff because I told you guys yesterday that I'm working on like a women's support thing. Yeah. Wondering. Yeah, I'll post them later so that you guys can see them. Um, but those are just a few of the pictures that were taken for me. I think they're beautiful. They turned out really well. But I want you guys to know that that's coming too. And they'll definitely be when I open the shop thing or whatever it is, that you guys can see other pictures, and there'll probably be a little commercial coming. So I'm working on a woman's package that I want to put together. I've been thinking about putting together. So that's coming too. I wanted to let you guys know that. So I hope you guys are ready because we are on our way to getting things that we need to get done, which brings me to tonight's thing, right? So 6 months ago, I think it was a little bit more than 6 months ago, but 6 months ago, I did a video where I talked about Pluto having the conversations with all of the planets that were coming by Pluto, right? So all these planets were coming by Pluto, getting close to Pluto, and they were having conversations, right, about how they were going to be going and doing stuff. And I said every time Pluto or Saturn are going to be aspecting them, they're going to, it's Pluto saying, remember this conversation, remember this thing that we talked about, each of the planets. And then there was one weekend where I had Venus and Mars, and so I did this video because I channeled all weekend. So I did this video, and I have it in the description in this video. So it's in the description below. You can just click on it and go to it later. But that reminded me of the conversation that Venus and Mars, because that was a deep conversation that they were having with Pluto, right? And so in that video, I'd asked you guys, I'd let you know what Venus was about, and I'd let you know what Mars was about, and the deeper aspects of Venus and Mars, right? And what they were telling me, and how Venus was saying, yes, I am the planet of beauty, and I am the planet of love and all of that, but it's deeper. It is deeper than that. It's about nurturing. It's about me having boundaries. It's about me working in unison with Mars. Mars is the action. It's almost like Venus and Mars are in a relationship, but that relationship is within you, right? So balancing your Venus and Mars. You cannot have Venus without Mars. Venus is the receiver. Venus is the attractor, and Mars is the protector, and Mars is the action, right? And so within yourselves, I'd asked you to go within, and I'd said, because these relationships, and this all has to do with what's going on right now, these relationships that you have outside of you, which is why you came here, they're mirroring you. They're mirroring aspects of you that you don't either see or you choose not to see, and they're mirroring you. They're kind of, it's like they're saying, before you came here, you wanted to understand this part of your soul, and you wanted to understand this part of your soul. And so, because on this earth, we have physicalness and separation. It's these relationships that are trying to help you understand this part of you, right? But the way to get to the balance of that, and this was all with the Pluto and Venus and Mars, the conversation that they were having. And so I'd asked you to really delve into Venus and Mars and Pluto in asking yourselves these questions. And one of the questions was, one of the questions was, what part of me has not been loved? That's Venus. Venus is asking you to ask that question of yourself. What part of me has not been loved, right? And another question was, what is it that I'm lacking? What is it that I don't have? Is it boundaries? Is it aggression? What is it that I am lacking? And I'd asked you guys to sit with these questions, and I told you, being a hypnotherapist and dealing with the subconscious, I already know the first three answers are a lie, because that's your ego. Well, it's this and it's that, and it's not. You have to sit with it, right? And then the third question I asked, I mean, there's more questions, but I'm only going to say the third or three is, what is it that needs to be nurtured within me? What is that? What am I lacking? What is it that needs to be nurtured? Because that's what Venus is, right? What parts of me have not been nurtured? What parts of me have not received attention? What parts of me are lacking? What parts of me have not been loved, right? By me, within you, right? And there's a lot of questions that I'd asked you, what have I not nurtured? What have I not been able to see? What parts of me have not been cared for by me? What are those parts, right? And then I said, with Mars, and that's what's going on right now, is with Mars is like, don't forget about me. I'm the action. I am the protector. I am the one that, where Venus is the receiver of love, Mars takes the action, right? And so with Mars, you want to ask the question, what is it that I need to do to resolve this within me, right? What action do I need to take to be able to resolve these parts of me that have not been nurtured, that have not had attention, that have not been loved, right? And that's how Mars and Venus work with each other. That's the relationship that they have, right? But that relationship is within you. You're just seeing it out there in others because they've come to mirror you. They've come to show you the parts that you cannot see, that you either want to grow from, you want to understand more about, or you just want to experience. Okay? So, yeah, you remember the video? Yeah, you can post. Oh, yeah, you can remember the video. You remember the video. And then the question I said that Pluto was asking in all of this was, how can I have, or where is the courage to where's the courage within me to be able to resolve these things about me, right? And so I hope that some of you saw that video, and some of you may have not, but you have this innate knowing of having been working on it, right? And I'm saying all this because this is the time, um, this is the time where Venus and Mars are trining along with Saturn. And so it's like a check-in time. It's like Venus and Mars are saying, have you asked those questions? Are you paying attention to yourself? Have you nurtured yourself? Have you uh, shown attention to the parts of you that you never had before or that you couldn't see, right? We get frustrated with people in relationships. I'll give you an example. You may have a relationship with somebody and they lie to you, right? And so you get frustrated because you know that they're lying and they know that they're lying and you've talked about this before, but then they continue to lie, right? Yet within yourself, you don't realize that you're not telling yourself the truth, right? That's just an example. I'm not saying that's anybody specifically. That's just an example. And this is something that you want to look at because this is a mirror to you. This is a part of your soul that is saying, do you want to resolve this? Do you just want to experience this? What is going on here? Are you trying to expand from this? This person, before you guys came here, just had said, this is the contract I have with you. This is the way you want to experience this. So this is what I'm going to show you, right? This is through my belief system. This is through my understanding of all my teachings. This is the way, and this is the way that they've showed me, my higher self has, right? This is very important because if you have been working on this, this is the time with this Grand Trine because this is a good aspect, right? That it's emotional. We're about to get really emotional in October. It's emotional. These emotions can be very good. These emotions could be very healing. These emotions could be very getting you aligned, right? And with Saturn, these questions are being asked again, but Saturn is saying, okay, you two, with Pluto, I'm helping Pluto because we're all helping each other trying to get you to the place that you want, to have these relationships that you've always dreamed of, right? And so Saturn says, I'll test you because that's what I do. And so I've been testing you. I've been seeing, have you looked at this? Are you still doing the same patterns? Have you taken responsibility in your part in the relationship? Have you taken responsibility in having boundaries? Have you looked at those parts of you that keep coming up on the outside through other people? And if they have, then it's time to gift you. It's time to give you that relationship that you're wanting. It's time to give you that emotion that you know, that peace, that love, that healing. Does that make sense to you guys? And that's what I think is going on. Now, so for the first part of October, it's going to gift you. Things are going to align. You're going to come to understanding. There's going to be parts of you that are going to be healing, right? For some of you, those of you that I've already seen and worked with, you're already on that journey. Like you're already starting to understand that it's in you. It's what are you lacking? What am I lacking? What did I not see? What was not cared for before? What was not nourished? What hasn't been nourished in me? What hasn't been nurtured in me? Right? And what can I do to do that? That's like me saying I'm trying to be very aware when I've had some people say to me, you got to remember not to work so hard. You have to remember to take your time. Your family is important, right? And I heard you. And that's what this is about. I've been very aware. I take my time. I spend it with my grandson. I spend it with my daughter. Yes, I work very hard, but I'm taking the time for not just them, but for myself too. Does all this make sense? I am making sure, because I had this conversation with them. I channeled all weekend when I did that first video. And I am making sure that I am being nourished, that I am nurturing myself, that I am loving myself, that I have looked at the parts of me that either I couldn't see or I refused to see, right? And I've been working on that. So, does anybody have any questions about that so far? And are we still streaming? I know y'all get really quiet. Anybody? I know when I start channeling that everybody gets really quiet. I just want to make sure that you guys are understanding, that you guys are really delving. I told you I wanted to go deeper with each of these planets and check in. And Pluto is about to go direct, right? So he's looking at them and saying, "Are y'all paying attention?" He's looking at your Mars and your Venus, because all he wants to talk about is the trauma that you have. And all he wants you to do is have the obsession until you gain your power, right? And so with Pluto at the start of the conversation with Saturn, Saturn's now saying, because Saturn makes us, what does he do? He makes us be responsible. He teaches us how to be responsible and be an authority in whatever it is that we're doing, right? And it's time for you to be the authority in you. Yes, I know when you're so tired of the same thing happening over and over, and you think it's out of your control, and these people are lying, or they're cheating, or they're awful, or they don't, how do I say this? Don't pay attention to you, or they dismiss you. There are people that you can have relationships with and they're very dismissive of you, right? What is that showing you? What part of you was not nurtured that irritates you? What part of you was never looked at, never coddled, never shown love to, that irritates you? When somebody lies to you, why does that irritate you so much? Is it because, I mean, I'm just guessing, I'm just putting stuff out there, but is it because you hold yourself up to a higher standard and think that you never lie to anybody? Or is it because they misspoke? Or this is what I was saying before, like you got to really sit with these questions, right? This really makes sense. Just joined. Hi, Eagle. How are you? So this is what, if you guys have been working on it, and you've been working on it. Like you may not have seen the video, but you've been working with me with this, right? So, because we bring this out all the time. I just don't always ask those questions, but we do. We're learning to love ourselves. We're learning to make ourselves important. We're learning that we no longer have to get everything taken away or pushed from us or depleting, right? We're learning to like really look at ourselves and balance ourselves, right? And that starts with that Venus and Mars. And because Venus and Mars are going to be so active this month, I think that's why Venus was like in my face, right? Because she's like, hey, remember the conversation. Remember what you guys need to, this is like phase 2. We got to keep working at this. We got to make sure you got to bring these things up again, right? And we're not finished, but we're to a point where Saturn is involved and he's willing, because you've worked so hard, if you've worked so hard, he's willing to gift you. He's willing to let all three of us gift you. And Pluto also, because he is trining over here, right? It's not a grand trine. No, I'm sorry, it is a grand trine. See, he's trining over here with the moon. He had that conversation with the moon. How do I see it? What do I feel? Right? And Mars. So, sorry. And Uranus. I'm getting these two confused. So, and Uranus. So, the moon and Uranus, we're also talking to Pluto. This is, do you see how these are connected? They're all trying to help you with these same themes, maybe in different areas of your life, depending on your chart. That gives us clues, but it's all about that. And because it's emotion and it's very grounding, right? Earth and water, or is it going to get muddy? Have you balanced it? Have you done the thing? Have you looked at what you should be looking at? Why is it that you're always depleted? Why is it that you're always tired? Why is it that people always lie to you? Why is it that you always pick the wrong one? Why is it that you're attracting people that are distant? Why is it that you're attracting people that can't commit? Why is it that you're attracting, like, you have to ask yourself these questions, because those relationships, which is what we're doing, relationships with this Libra eclipse, is relationships. How are we doing them? What are we doing with them? And this is, remember all of this. She's going to give you the gumption, like Venus was saying, I have boundaries. Do you have boundaries? Are you keeping your boundaries? Are you loving yourself? This group, especially, and I said this 6 months ago in that video, this group especially knows how to love others. Like, they will give everything to others, but they don't afford themselves the same for themselves. Does that make sense? I gotta take it. Sorry. Got thirsty. So does all this make sense? This is the themes that are going on, and this is what we're going to be dealing with in October. Venus, Mars, and Saturn, along with Pluto, the moon, the eclipse, Uranus, and Jupiter. They're all involved, but this is the theme. This is what's going on. Sounds like this for me. Absolutely makes sense. Thank you, Eagle. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand this. Does anybody have any questions about this? So here's the thing. You do know it's when you're sitting there, that's why I said the first three answers are going to be a lie, right? Or sometimes they won't answer, or sometimes you won't get an answer. And from personal experience, when I don't get an answer, it's because my ego is involved and it's not balanced. There's few times, like back in the day, where I told you I hear crickets, right? And I'm like, oh, and I'll hear crickets, and I would be like, oh, you want to talk to me all the time at the night, in the morning, and the blah, 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 blah. But when I have a question and I need an answer, all of a sudden I'm hearing crickets, right? And that's funny, but I've learned that that's my ego. It's not listening. It's not listening. It does not want to hear the truth, or the truth for me, or my perception, or trying to grow from that. Does that make sense? There are other reasons that could be involved, which, like, there's just too much trauma to try to unpack. And I'm talking about the deep, deep, deep trauma, right? There are bigger things involved sometimes. It's not time. You're not ready. You don't want to know. It's that simple. It's not like they don't ever not want to answer you, or I know from personal experience where I've said, do not interfere. I do not want to come do this again. I will figure this out. So don't intervene. I've said that to them. Again, my ego, right? Like, I don't want to do this again. But that's me from this perspective. But they won't. If we've made, my higher self knows me. So if we've made a deal, my higher self already knows she's going to work this out. I don't have to, like, show it to her. She's gonna see it, because that's who she is. Does that make sense? Just looking forward to the gifts, right? If you've been working on this, if you've been honoring yourself, if you have looked at those parts that you want to look at, I'm saying for the people that are so frustrated and it just keeps cycling and cycling and you're like, how many freaking times I got to do this? That means that your soul is trying to say, I want to get through this. I'm trying to understand this so that I don't do this anymore, right? But you're so close to the situation that you may not even realize it's a cycle. You may not even realize that you keep doing this over and over and over, because it could be happening. It could be coming out in one person and then another, but in a different way, and you don't see the connection. Does that make sense? Does all that make sense? I see the cycle and I'm tired. Right. That's why I'm saying, if you can sit with these questions, if you go back and look at that video, it really explains how to do this and what to do and those questions. And I'm telling you, you're going to ask the question, it's going to tell you an answer. I want you to not accept that answer, because I already know. You know, your ego's involved. Then ask it again, and then ask it again, and then ask it again. Does that make sense? Because if you're seeing the cycle and you're tired, that's Saturn. Are you taking responsibility? Are you saying that life just happens to you and you don't live life? Are you saying I see it now. Now what do I do? Those were the questions I asked. Like, where's my courage? That's what you ask. Where's my courage? Where's the clarity for me not to do this again? What action, Mars, what action do I need to take to protect myself from this happening again and me attracting these things again? What do I need to understand to be able to be nurtured, to be able to be loved? Very nice. Says, definitely take responsibility and know what to change. Already made so many changes. Perfect. Right? So if you have, I'm telling you, I think we're going to get 2 gifts. I kind of think we're going to get 2 gifts, because I'm going to, so maybe tomorrow or the next day, I will be doing the trine with Neptune, right? So I don't recall the video. How can I find it? So I put it in the description of this live. So if you look in the description of this live, it's there. It says the next video to watch, and it's there. Okay. Please let me know if you look at it. Let me know that it's there or not, because I know I just put it in there. I just put it in there before I started this live. I want everybody to take a look at that video. I need you to really sit with these questions. I can go over the questions now if you'd like for me to, because I did write them down again. Because of course I write stuff down and then I can't remember where I put it. And that was 6 months ago. And I've moved states since then. So would you guys like me to go over the questions again? And I can go over each of the questions, what to ask Venus, or what Venus has asked us to ask ourselves for our Venus. And then the Mars question, and then the Pluto question, right? Thank you, Lorna, for saying please like and subscribe. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you being here. I hope you're understanding this. This is really important for us. I think this is going to be very healing. This is just the part of the healing, but these energies are here to work for us. And we're about to go into a very emotional time. And you are going to see people in this next month, especially our group. It's almost like you're looking at people and you're going to be like, what is going on? Because they're going to break down. They're going to break down. Okay. Thank you, Ellen. Thanks for saying that. She said the link is working just fine. Okay, perfect. So when people are not having it, people are just really emotional, understand that we have emotions going on. You have Mars and Cancer. And that can be a good thing and that can be a bad thing. It just depends on your perception. It also depends on your path. We have Venus in Scorpio. That's deep. That's why Venus is talking to me the way she is, because she's deep in Scorpio right now. Scorpio wants to figure it out. Just the surface stuff that I can say to you guys, it's not enough. And my soul is like, it's not enough. You got to go back and do it again. You got to do it deeper, right? And that's why I sat with this all since, was it yesterday that she started talking to me like that, or the day before? It's like she was like, here I am, look at me again, remember again that I am not only love and money and beautiful things, I am um I'm nurturing, I have boundaries, I am deep. And you're only seeing the surface, right? But it's important, let me say this. It is important for you to understand those depths of yourself, because whatever needs to be aligned and healed and nurtured, once you do that, you're resonating at a different frequency, and then you will attract that, right? Me doing the work for the last 6, 7, 8 months, this part of the work, right? Because I've done work before this, but this part of the work has allowed me to attract you beautiful, beautiful, old, wise souls. Somebody that's a surface person is not going to attract that. They're just not. They may see you for a little bit, but it's not going to last, right? Me working on that part of me allowed me to change the frequency, which attracted you guys. And we all attracted each other. Does that make sense? Does all that make sense to you guys? Okay. Okay. So again, do you guys want me to go over the questions now, or do you want to just watch the video and go over the questions then? Because we can go over the questions now if you'd like. Or if you guys have any questions about it, if you have any thoughts about it, if you've been working on it and you've seen something different, let us know. Let us know how this is playing out for you. Okay, perfect. Mama Otto says, I found the video, we'll watch it. Yeah, I saw some of it today and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. And then I started channeling. So I went ahead and wrote down the questions again, just in case you guys wanted to like share that, know that, right? So that's all I wanted to talk about. As Mars is in Cancer, you're opening your heart, you're learning how to like direct it. Yeah, yeah, it's already started. They're already starting to talk to each other. See, this is October 1st. So they're already starting to talk to each other. They're already like starting the energy. And then it's not like a stop and start. It's like it's already kind of started. And especially for this group, we kind of do things ahead of everybody. Not a lot ahead, but just a little bit more ahead of everybody. So um, it's already started. This is the time to like sit with yourself and ask yourself these questions. Like, check in. Have I loved myself? Is there any part of me that needs nurturing? Is there any part of me that needs some love? Is there any part of me that hasn't had any attention? And it can be like an old, old wound that you don't even realize you've had. That's why I want you to sit with it. Because when you're asking the question the first time, your mind does what it always does, right? It's trying to think, okay, what's the answer, right? And then the first thing that comes up is like, oh, okay. And I'm not saying that those first three answers couldn't be true. I'm just saying those are the surface answers, right? Maybe some parts of that answer might be a little true, okay? I won't say it's a complete lie, but I want you to go deeper. I want you to ask again, and I want you to sit with it. And then I want you to ask again, and I want you to sit with it. Because there is something. If you are not happy with the relationships around you, if you are so drained and you're so tired and you're just at your wits' end with life, with relationships, because this is what this eclipse is about. It is going to shift you. It is going to shift you. This is just our way of being conscious about this shift that's coming. This is our way of saying, okay, universe, I see you. I hear you. I'm going to do my thing, be responsible, and I'm going to learn how to work with this, right? So that when the shift comes in the next 6 months, you're okay with it. It's a beautiful thing. Your perception is, heck yeah, I don't have to deal with that anymore. Heck yeah, that's a great thing. Heck yeah, I worked so hard to get to this point. I love this. Like, that's working with that energy and saying, yes, I am consciously making my effort to evolve my soul in this life the way that I want to. Does that make sense? And when the second trine in Neptune, well, we'll talk about that tomorrow or the next day. But I want you guys to sit with this for a little bit. Remember, Pluto is going to go direct. And he's the one that's been like sort of, at least for our group, because this is such a big societal shift that's coming, growth that's coming. He's been a key player. He's been the one that's sort of orchestrating everything, right? I mean, usually people think Daddy Saturn is, right? It's Pluto. It's Pluto, it's Jupiter, and it's Uranus. Okay? I would say it's all these: Neptune, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, Jupiter, right? But Pluto is the one that's like really organizing it. And especially because he's been in Capricorn. He's really organizing this. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? You've got some great gifts coming. And I know it doesn't sound like that tonight, but I just want you to check in with yourself. I'm not saying that you haven't done any of this. I'm sure you guys have been with me, so you guys are working on this. You're doing it. You've got some great things coming. These trines are here to gift you. And I think we're going to get 2 gifts. Like I said, I think we're going to get one from Saturn and this trine, Saturn, Mars, Venus. And then I think we get one from Neptune, Mars, and Venus. Does that make sense? Yeah. And it's having to do with us going through this closure and then this new phase. Right? That makes sense? Yeah. So tonight, that's all I'm going to talk about is that those 2 specifically is Mars and Venus. And we have to learn to balance that. But over the next coming days, excuse me, over the next coming days, I want to go through each of those houses and see, just like we're doing now, right? The way that they're trining, because I want to check in with all of them. And this has to do with the conversation that Pluto was having with each one of them. So Pluto, as these planets went by 6, 7 months ago, as they were conjuncting, as they were talking to Pluto, I was telling you the conversations they were going to have or that they were having and how we were going to see that. And I told you, as we move along, they're going to start talking, and Pluto's going to be like, do you remember what we said? Do you remember what we discussed about Mom Otto? Do you remember what we discussed about Berenice? Do you remember what we discussed about Eagle? Do you remember what we discussed about Lorna? Do you remember what we discussed about Wendy? Right? Is she on track? Do we need to remind her something? Do we need to have her experience something? Do we need to have her understand something? That's Mercury, right? Do we need to have her reassure her of her boundaries, of her power, of her authority, of her responsibility, of her dreams, right? Of her wisdom, of her actions, of her love. All that makes sense? Does anybody have any questions or want to say anything? Do you have any comments about how this has played out in the last 6 months? What you've learned, what you've grown into, what you understand, what you don't understand yet? I'm doing the Gemini thing, and I have a soda on one side and coffee on the other, and I'm trying to figure out which one I want. I'll go for the soda, the Dr. Pepper, because I'm a Texan. It's blasphemous not to drink Dr. Pepper. I see Venus is conjunct my sun and Saturn. Yeah. So that's especially. So in transit, it's Venus is coming around your sun and Saturn, which you said you've been working on it. So yes, it looks like you're seeing, like you said, I see it. That's the sun. I see it. I understand. And I have been working hard on it. That's that Saturn for you. That's the Saturn for you. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, you may have two gifts coming. I don't know what they're going to be, but you may have two gifts coming. I think we're all going to have a couple of gifts coming, right? For me, this is about boundaries in relationships. That's right, Eagle. It is. And seeing it. Have you loved yourself? Yeah. Do you have that balance where you have the boundaries? Because that was something that Venus really made prominent when I was channeling Venus, was people forget. She said, people forget I have boundaries and they're solid. And when you're loving and you don't have boundaries, that's not balanced. Yes, I know that as who we are, all evolved old souls, we're like, oh, I can love enough for you and me. We know you can, but that's not what you came here to do. You came here to balance that within you. You came here to show yourself that love too. So as much as you want to love somebody until they can love themselves, you have to learn to love you too. Does that make sense? Berenice says same. Boundaries and leaving the past in the past. Yeah. That's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing because that's comfortable. That's comfortable. That's where it may not be the right thing that your soul wants to do, but it feels comfortable because that's all you've known, right? And so it's scary to move out into a space where you don't know. You know, I said that about 6 months ago when I spent that video. It's like, you're moving into, we're all of us in the world are moving into a space that we don't know, right? Now we know a little bit because we've been in that space and we're getting a little bit more comfortable. This is Venus and Mars and Saturn just saying, okay, where are you at? What have you done? Do you want to do more? What type of relationships do you want? You've been doing really well. That's where I think the Neptune is coming in. But I'm not going to talk about Neptune tonight. But I think Neptune is like creating that So I feel like if you guys have been working, one of the things is like the new relationships that you're going to have around you, the ones that you've dreamed of, the ones that you knew in your vision could be. Mom Otto says I need to learn to trust again. Absolutely. Yeah. And you need to learn how to trust not for anybody but you. Because I don't think anyone wants to live a life where they're always like have this wall. And I'm gonna peek over the wall and I'll have a little bit of a relationship. But it's only so much and that's it. Then I'm gonna come back behind my wall. Like, do you know how much energy that is to have that wall up constantly? That's a lot of energy that you're putting in. To have the wall up constantly and only peek over every once in a while and then come back down and work on that wall and like keep it up. That's a lot of energy. Do you know how freeing it is when you don't have that wall anymore? It's very freeing. It's like, oh my gosh, I could do other things. I could live life. Geez, I could be happy. Wow, I can smile. I can actually smile and mean it. There's joy in life. But you can't see it because of the wall. You can peek at it, but you can't see it. You can't experience it. You can't get to it because you have this wall. And yes, you needed the wall for your protection. Like I said, all of you have been to hell and you danced with the devil. You've been to hell. I know. I know. There was a reason you needed to put the wall up. But you're not there anymore. You've come back from hell. You come back. And it's time for that wall, for no one else but yourself, for that wall to come down so that you can experience these things. Right? Right? By the way, my robe is comfy. I love my robe. Yeah, so at the time you needed the wall, which is why I do hypnosis too. Like, let's get that wall down. Let's get it down. Lorna says, trust yourself first. Exactly. Exactly. And it's hard. It's hard to trust yourself when you think you know about relationships and then it takes a turn. And you're like, I should have known better. Why didn't I sense this? Why did I let this happen? And then you begin to mistrust yourself. When the reason is because there's a certain thing that you wanted to experience in this particular relationship. It had nothing to do with you not seeing it. It was the way that you wanted to experience it. Right? That's what I mean by going to hell and coming back. Y'all are back from hell. Y'all are not in hell anymore. You're back. And it's time to live life. This is why this group is so important, because we've all been there and we know. And we know how to be in the space of peace and love. This group is very good at that space of peace and love and comfort. But you need to allow yourself that as well. Not just hold the space, because y'all are used to holding the space. You need to be in the space as well. And you guys have seen that. People come in here and they're saying it feels so nice in here. Yes, because y'all are masters of this. So have yourself step into this space as well. Not just hold the space. Not just sending good vibes to everybody. Have the good vibes go to you too. I think that's the answer to all our questions. We come first in trust, love, and etc. Absolutely. Because that's what I was saying. Once you have that balance and once you put down that wall and once you've grown from that, all you're going to do is attract that. those relationships that you see in your head, that you envision, that you feel, you're trying to get to that. Your soul is trying to get to that. Your life path is trying to get to that because it knows it to be true. It knows that there's a space here on this earth that can have that type of relationship. Yeah, it's not easy. It's hard. This stuff is not easy. It sounds simple. It is a little simple, but it's not easy. That's the whole point. If it was easy, then we'd be already there, right? It's not easy. It's not easy to sit with yourself and take responsibility. Not shame, not the shame of like, oh, I should have known better. I'm an old soul, blah, 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 blah. That's your ego talking to you, which the ego's not bad. It's just not in balance when it's doing all that, right? Because, yes, it's telling you the truth. You are an old soul, but you wanted to experience it in a certain way. And that's not easy. When the flower blooms, the bee comes. Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's a good saying. That's a Texan for you. We always have sayings. Trust me, I know about that. Like, I should have seen it coming. I don't know why I did that. I don't understand why I didn't see it before, you know. And then you get the guilt, and then you get the shame, and then you get the all of that. That was when you were in hell. You don't have to do that anymore. You don't. You don't have to do that. You're so much more now. You're understanding that you've always been so much more. Let me say it that way. Because you've always been that. We just get stuck. We repeat things. We have a DNA in us that has been repeating things for centuries, right? When it's hard, that's where the growth is. Yeah. Yeah. And it's not hard for long. The second that you understand it and then put it into place with Mars, put it into action, and then do it. It just gets easier and easier, and then all of a sudden you're reflecting that, right? You're attracting that, and someone comes in to reflect that. Could you do a hypnosis for the group to aid in self-love? Yeah. Let me think of one, and maybe we'll do it tomorrow, because there's a couple that I'm thinking of right off the bat. Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow, because there's two that I'm thinking of. Yeah, I really like the heart one, but there's another one too. But yeah, that's a good idea, Bernice. I can do hypnosis for the group. Absolutely. We'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. All right. Well, if nobody has any questions, you guys have anything you want to talk about? I think I told you guys everything I wanted to tell you guys. Thank you. I can't join tomorrow, but I can watch the recording. Yes. Yeah. You guys, I've done the heart one before. I really like the heart one too. I think I've told you guys about it too. That's one of my favorites. It's so funny. Y'all can't hear, but my grandson is singing at the top of his lungs. And I always tell him, you're such a good singer. You're such a good singer. My daughter just looks at me. Because I'll say it and he goes louder and louder. Oh, but he is singing. He is happy. She's like, don't encourage him. Like, yes, you have to encourage him. He should sing. He should sing at the top of his lungs. He can sing loud. All right, guys. Well, I want you guys to sit with that. Go watch that other video. You can rewatch this one if you want. And get ready because you guys have gifts coming. I know it didn't sound like that at the beginning, but that's where I was going with this, is that you guys have gifts, the ones, and all of you guys have been working on it. So you're going to get the gifts. So don't be shocked and surprised when things happen. I want you guys to come tell me. You are so welcome. I feel like I'm missing something. I think I told you guys everything, but I'll be here tomorrow. So, how, before I leave though, how are you guys liking the me coming on between 7 and 8? How are you guys liking that? And the other question is, I will be coming on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Good. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. So I will be coming on. So today's Sunday. I'm coming on Monday, Tuesday. Then I'm going to not come on Wednesday, Thursday. Right. Did I say that right? Hold on. Tuesday, Wednesday. Sorry. I'll be coming on Monday, and then I will not be coming on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I will be coming on Thursday, Friday. Okay, so I'm going to miss Monday and Tuesday. And there's a method to my madness because I'm trying to work with this algorithm, right? So until we don't have an algorithm anymore. And then I'll be on Thursday, Friday, and then I will start the Monday. And when I start the Monday, next Monday, it's going to be Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock. Okay. And on my banner on my channel, I'll change it to that. Yeah. Monday, Thursday, Friday. Perfect. Yeah. Eagle says, Spirit wakes me up. I believe. Love it to wake up into your lives. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah. It's like your higher self saying, hey, you don't want to miss your friends. And so remember, guys, I'm wearing pajamas. I've got other pajamas I'm going to put on, but I'm wearing pajamas. I'm going to wear my robe. I want you guys to come comfortable. I have my coffee, but I'm a Gemini. So a lot of you Geminis know we don't have just one drink. We have a couple of drinks. So I'll definitely have my coffee, but I'll also probably have my Dr. Pepper. But also you can have your teas. I can't have my tea until I finish because then I'll go night-night. It's not time to go night-night. Okay, so be sure to bring your coffee, your tea, your snuggle blankie. Have a nice chill. We'll have a great time. We're learning some stuff. We're going deep. Scorpio and Venus is making me go deep. Neptune, Saturn, and Pisces is making me go deep. And Mars and Cancer is making me go deep. So we're going to kind of check in, see how it goes. But we'll be talking about the next aspect tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. I almost said, no, not tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Anyway, I love you, love you, love you. Thank you so very much for spending time with me. I love each and every one of you. You guys are wonderful. You're great. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. I was trying to think of the word. I'm so lucky, and I'm so honored to be part of this. So I will see you on the next one.